everyone, welcome back. So I'm doing my first postpartum video today. I'm probably going to do like maybe 2 or 3, I don't know. This is the first one. So I am today 17 days postpartum. So 2.5 weeks. Hello, you awake? You awake? You say hi? Yeah. Hi. Say hello, everybody. Oh, Ollie. Who's gonna need a feed? Can't be yourself, muffin. Right, let's sort that out and we'll be back. I know. Hello, girly pops. So, I'm back. I've sorted her out. We're back in business. The angle is like awful now, so I'm really sorry. And this one's asleep on me. So we're just gonna have to roll with it for now. So I'm really sorry about the awful background. Look at me up there being an absolute cripple. So I'm just gonna lie on my bed with her and we're just gonna talk everything postpartum. Let me put this pillow behind my head. Okay, I'm 17 days postpartum. Let's begin. Should we start with her or start with me? Because obviously there's going to be an update for her, there's going to be an update for me. Let's start with me. Stitches. I think stitches are like the main thing for me. No, actually no, they're not. They're really not. So my stitches have, I don't know if they've started dissolving yet. I don't think they have because I think I can still feel them. They're not painful anymore. When I wee, they're not painful, and they've not been for about a week now. They were only kind of painful and like really burned, and like was like if I spread my legs or like if I like moved, like it was sore. It was very sore, and you'd literally be like, and that was probably for about like the first week, I'd say. And then it kind of started to go down, and now they're pretty much fine. Like I can't feel them, but I'm aware that they're still there. Does that make sense? Probably doesn't if you've not had them before. But yeah, I had 3 stitches, so I think it's just the big one that I can really feel, because like there was like a tear and then it was 2 grazes, and I think it's just the tear that I can still feel. So stitches are fine. Bleeding, I was for the first week, it was very heavy, very, very heavy, and like very constant. Oh, you're on your arm. Yeah, so bleeding was like really heavy for the first like week and a half, I'd say. And for the past couple days, it's gone down massively. Like, I'm bleeding every day still, but it's kind of like on and off. Like I'm not bleeding at the minute. I have to have a pad in all the time, but I'm not bleeding at the minute. But I'll probably bleed in like an hour or so for about an hour. Like it's kind of like hourly, not hourly, but if I bleed, it's for like an hour. So I'm still bleeding, and I think I will still be bleeding for a while, but it's gone down massively. So I was probably bleeding for about a week and a half, like constant. And now it's kind of gone down. Body, I will insert a clip right now of my body. Here's what my body looks like. This is like just over 2.5 weeks postpartum. So my belly is obviously like still like flabby. It's like pretty much gone down. Like the only thing that I really am bothered about is like here. Like this is like the only place that I put on weight. It's gone down. My bum got even fatter, so. But I'm absolutely fine with how my figure looks, to be honest with you. I'm gonna start going to the gym as soon as I'm allowed to go to the gym. But until then, I'm really not that fussed. And to be honest with you, like obviously I'm still breastfeeding in some sort of way. Obviously I'm expressing, so I still will be getting like the benefits from that. So my figure will keep going back to normal, like my belly will keep going and going and going for as long as I'm doing that. So yeah, that's my figure at the minute. I've not really got any complaints. So I'm really happy with my body, to be honest with you. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. I think what helped me was the fact that I didn't put on a lot of weight when I was pregnant. Like, as I said, like, it's kind of like my love handles that I put on weight because I didn't have them before. Well, I did, but not as bad as they are now. So they're like my main kind of, that and my bum, because I had a flat bum anyway. Like, if you know me, which you probably do, because I know a lot of my friends and stuff watch this, like, I had a flat bum. I had a flat bum, and everyone knows I have a flat bum. I've got big boobs, flat ass. Great combo! So my bum's got like even flatter, which is really nice. We really enjoy that and we really thrive off of that. So when I start going back to the gym, I literally joined the gym for like a month before I found out I was pregnant. Thought I was hard. So I literally went to the gym for like a month before I was pregnant. So going back to the gym check. But I will start going to the gym again, probably when I'm 6 weeks, because I think that's when you're like clear, mostly, and like you're kind of like fully recovered. I don't know. What else is updates about me? Stretch mark. I keep putting bio oil on, but I'm not doing it like every day, and I think I should be doing it like twice a day, once in the morning, like once in the evening, and I'm just not. Like, I'm doing it like once every 2 days, and it's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna do anything. I really need to get on top of that. Oh my god, so one thing that I didn't realise, but they don't tell you about being pregnant, labour. I've got like very minor, now you can't tell anyone this, and I'm trusting you, get on the trust tree. So this is really embarrassing, but it's part of it, so I'm going to tell it because it's part of my postpartum. I've got piles. Really like minor, like very minor, like they're not an issue, but let me tell you, like it's uncomfortable. Like, because I think when I gave birth, where I was pushing so hard and so good to get this 8-pounder out, I think my bum came out. No, this is not a conversation I ever thought I'd be talking about on the internet, but here we are. Because some women, when they push, their like bum kind of like a little bit, like it will kind of like my mum's did it. Mum told me that hers did the same for all 3 of us. But like they're not bad, they don't hurt, but they're just uncomfortable. And I think it's from where like my bum kind of like. So, literally when I asked on my Instagram like what does everyone want to know about postpartum, everyone was literally everything, like tell us everything. And if you don't like that, well I'm sorry, but you asked for it, so okay, I'm just gonna go on to her now because I think that's mainly everything about me. Piles, bleeding, stitches, body, and postnatal depression? Postpartum depression. I don't have it. I think you can tell. I'm fine. Like, to be honest with you, like, I do miss my bump, but I hated being pregnant. Like, looking back, I hated it. I loved it, but I hated it. I loved, like, the first couple months. I hated, like, them last 2 months. Probably from, like, Paris till I gave birth. I hated it. Because I was so huge, I was so uncomfortable. Like, obviously I had my pelvic problems. Why am I not talking about that? So I had my pelvic problems, and obviously they've gone now, absolutely fine. For the first couple of days, I was really uncomfortable still, like I still found it quite difficult to walk, but I think that's where like my hips were kind of like going back to how they used to be. Because obviously now we know why I had them, because this chunk was in my belly. And I'm a very small person. I say very small. I'm 5'4", so I'm small, and I'm not big. Like I'm quite like Diddy. Like you can probably tell. Like I'm not. So carrying an 8-pounder, my body clearly couldn't keep up with it. Didn't know what to do with it. So yeah, that's obviously why I had the SPD. But it went after a couple of days. But that was like my main kind of, that's why I hated being pregnant. I was so uncomfortable. Quick interval. I got asked why we decided on the name Orly. Now, story time. Why did I call my baby Orly? Now, Charlie used to work as an estate agent in London. He's still an estate agent now, but obviously where we live. So when I found out I was pregnant, he lived in London. We found out in Bali, but he was in London. I think I covered that on my first, on like the finding out I was pregnant video. And then he moved back. But when he was in London, there was a girl who he worked with who was called Orly, and it's basically Jewish for ray of light. And obviously he asked her, and she told him, and he loved that name, like, because obviously it's a very different name. I know I've heard of Orla, but I've never heard of Orly. He obviously pitched the idea to me, and I hated it. I'm not gonna lie, I hated it. I thought it was really weird. I didn't like, it's just Orly. Like, when you first hear it, it's a name that you're like, what? Like, what? And I just didn't connect with it in any way. I was like, no, not a chance. Not a chance. But he was so persistent. It was his favourite name, which, as you can tell, is his favourite name, because she's now called Orly. We had 5 names, but all the other 4, like, I didn't connect. I loved all of them, but I didn't connect with any of them. Like, I wasn't set on one, where he was. And I was like, right. If she comes out and she's an Orly, then we'll call her Orly. And I was like, yeah, no chance is she gonna pop out and she's gonna be an Orly. Like, no chance in hell. So I set them rules. And then I was like, actually, if you name her Orly, I want to name her after my nan, Pamela, but she was christened Pamelia, which I think's beautiful, because my nan, she passed like 2 years ago now, and she was literally like my bestie, and I just wanted something after her. Obviously for my baby, she's not been able to meet her, and I was like, right, if she's Orly, she's gonna be Orly Pamelia, like Orly and then middle name Pamelia, not like a double barrel, like just Orly Pamelia Manti Khan. And then she popped out, Orly that is, and Charlie was like, Orly, and I was still getting over just pushing out an 8-pound baby, and I looked at her and I was just like, do you know what, like, yeah. So that's where it came from. Anyway, back to the video. So her updates. So she's now been discharged from the midwife. If you know, like, you have home visits on day 3, day 5, day 7 and day 10, and they aim to discharge you on day 10. But to be discharged, the umbilical cord needs to come off, and the baby needs to be back up to their birth weight, because they lose weight. If you don't know, babies lose weight. So when she came out, she was obviously 8 pounds, and then she went down to, it was either £7.4 or £7.6. I can't quite remember which one it was. Hello. So she went down, And then but when on day 10, she wasn't quite up to her birth weight. She was just a little bit below by like a couple of kilograms. Kilograms? Grams? What's the smaller one? Grams. By a couple of grams, she was just below. So she then got discharged on day 12 or 13. Day 14, she was 2 weeks. So she got discharged from the midwife on day 14 because they didn't see her then. They gave her a couple more days just to put on the weight, and then they discharged her. She was above her weight then. Like, I think she just needed that extra day just to get a little bit more chunky, a little bit more. Her umbilical cord came off day 9, and I'm not gonna lie, I had so much joy because her little belly button was so cute. Yeah, so all of her midwife appointments were really good. Her heel prick, she didn't flinch. She was asleep and she literally went, oh. She's feeding so well. I was breastfeeding her. However, my nipples were too big for her. I have big boobs. I'm a G now. I've gone up to a G. So, as you can imagine, I've not got like burger nips, but they're big, but in proportion to my boobs. Does that make sense? They're too big for her mouth. And when you breastfeed, like when they latch, they need to have like a bit of the nipple like around the nip to go in their mouth as well, like not just the nip. She could only fit the nip in. So it was painful and my nipples were bleeding and it was horrendous. So I decided that I was going to start expressing, see if that worked. And it worked perfectly, absolutely perfectly. And I could get about 2 bottles at a time. So I'd have I could get 6 ounces out. So 3 ounces in one boob, 3 ounces in the other. But as obviously she started to grow and it's demand feeding, my boobs I just couldn't keep up. I literally can't keep up with the demand of having to pump ridiculous amounts of milk out my boobs so much, because it takes time. It obviously takes quite a while to just sit there with a pump. So I started combination feeding, so I give her formula and breast milk, and she takes the bottle so well. If anything, she enjoys it, and if anything, I enjoy it so much more because it's just not as much pressure and it's not painful. And if I'm like, right, I need a wee, or I want to have a bath, or blah blah blah, I can just say to Charlie or one of my family members, excuse me, can you just quickly look after her and feed her? Or if I want to go out, she can be on formula. Like, I'm going for a drink with one of my friends this Saturday, and I can, because she can have the formula. Obviously her belly, she was a little bit, not poorly, but her poos were a little bit pooey. She's obviously, her belly's had to toughen up a little bit more for the formula, but obviously that's normal and she's fine now. So she's took to the formula really well. I feed her on Cow and Gate, but I aim to give her about 4 bottles of Express, 4 bottles of Express a day, and then the rest is formula. So I need to express in a minute. But my boobs have started, my milk production has started slowing down. That's why I couldn't keep up. That was before the formula. It's not because I've started doing her formula as well. My boobs, I just couldn't keep up, and they weren't producing enough. And they're producing about the same, so it's not it's absolutely fine. She's sleeping really well. She will wake up about 2 times in the night. She'll go to sleep at about 12, about midnight, 12:30. But she'll have a nap until about from 8, maybe till 10:30. She'll have a nap then, and then she'll have a feed. She'll be awake for about 45 minutes to an hour, and then she'll settle down in her Moses basket, and then she'll wake up. The thing is, So she hates her Moses basket. She hates it. She'll settle in there for a couple of hours, and then when she wakes up, that's it. She's done. So I'm having to... She is kind of co-sleeping a little bit, but every night she's getting better and better, which I've got no complaints with. And I know people have such strong, like, opinions on co-sleeping, but at the end of the day, I need my sleep, she needs her sleep, and by her just laying next to me, giving her a little cuddle, I'm not wrong. Like, I always put myself and her in a position where there's no way that I'm gonna... Ollie. There's no way that I'm gonna roll onto her. There's no way that she's gonna roll off the bed. And it works. It works. I get my sleep. She gets her sleep. And that's the main thing. And she'll sleep through. Like, she has quite a few times slept through the night. Like, straight up. She's 2.5 weeks old. And she has slept through the night a couple times already. So I'm not complaining. You all can have your opinions if you don't agree with it. I don't care. But I love... She's never going to be a baby again. And I love cuddling her and having sleeps with her. So I don't mind. And it's down to me at the end of the day. But she's getting better. And hopefully she will be sleeping through the night in her Moses basket soon. We've just got to keep up with it. We've just got to keep on top of it. We've just got to keep settling her down. And soon she will get used to it. She will start liking it. And it will be a-okay. But I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else that I need to cover. Yeah. Thank you for watching. If there's any questions you have about postpartum or anything that I didn't cover that you want me to cover, then please let me know and I will do it for you. I will answer or tell you in the next video. So yeah, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed. I need to stop doing that and I need to stop doing that. So I'm really sorry if that's annoyed you. Me and Ollie are gonna have a little nap. And I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.